Self and other, knowing, attraction, and aversion are all costly concepts. They provide limited, self-created energy, just like adrenaline, hypervigilance, and force, but they leave anxious little echoes in their wake, and those are okay to feel. It's just the body telling us, don't hang your hat on these permanently. Ultimately, the limitations of self and other, knowing, attraction, and aversion are just invitations to the impermanence at the core of the gospel. When systems of motivation and value absolutely tank, whether they're connected to basic human needs or religion, the process causes all the grief emotions as well as anxiety. I'm thinking about it because of the prevalence of anxiety in society today. I believe that for the apostles, Jesus was what replaced systems of desire and motivation. And I believe that anxiety is just an indicator of the need to install the teacher in all the areas of our psyche. The following isn't an anti-medication rant. Take it for what it's worth. Anxiety may never go away completely. I believe it was anxiety that Jesus was talking about when he said, if it is my will that he remain until I come, what is that to you? Come follow me. But the lower self, anxiety, all the things we wish weren't true about ourselves can be handled, lived with, reconciled with by various prayer techniques. Here we go. Let's dig into how Jesus replaces a bunch of stuff that the apostles needed to let go of. Jesus became all that is seen and unseen. He didn't become the way, the truth, the light, sheep gates, bread, and wine, so that we justifiably think him absent from pencil sharpeners, Subway sandwiches, and traffic jams. He didn't become all those things so that we justifiably think him absent everywhere else. He became all those things so that we would see him everywhere. So let's get our mind right on why sacramentality was given to us. It's so that we could see Christ everywhere. Jesus is both attraction and aversion, but particularly he made himself present in aversion, because that's the hard one. He became the homeless, the hungry, the sick, the imprisoned, those who spike an aversion response, for the purpose of showing that he was present in our attractions as well. Of course, there's a teaching in there. You need to kind of steel yourself to experience Christ in aversion. Here we go. We're going to experience something that isn't fun. And of course, with the Christ who is present in attraction, you need to ultimately let it go because it can't last forever. But having learned the lessons of setting your face like flint and of letting go, it's very easy to say, yes, Jesus is present in those things. Jesus is both self and other. Paul said, I live, but not I. Christ lives in me. And the scriptures say, they saw him in the breaking of the bread by a stranger at Emmaus. This is an invitation to stop using the categories of self and other. Ultimately, all that does is cause mental strain. It is Christ, encountering Christ, experiencing responses in which Christ is present, and that's all. Jesus replaces for the apostles motivation. Scriptures say, I want to know Christ and the power of his resurrection and the sharing of his sufferings by becoming like him in his death. That too shows that we're tackling our aversions first, because those are the hard ones. And once we do that, boy, isn't it easier to let go of things we're attracted to. Jesus eclipses all religious knowledge and wisdom. Scriptures say Jews demand signs, Greeks desire wisdom, but we proclaim Christ crucified. Both the bliss of the transfiguration and the affliction of the adulterous woman have the same result. They both lead to what the Scripture says is Christ alone. The paradox of Christ's cross is the only knowledge worth presenting. I decided to know nothing among you but Jesus Christ and Him crucified. Listen, paradox is just about the only thing worth hanging your hat on. It's the only thing that's true. Everything else, the truth of it's going to kind of come and go. But if you can see that death is in life and that life is in death, you're going to be able to deal with the coming and going of meaning, right? And wouldn't it be neat to be that serene? To wrap up, I can't stress enough the importance of mantra. The lower self is going to be mentally chewing on resentments, cravings, and potential manipulations all day anyway. Picking a mantra to get the mind off what you lack and how you've been wronged can be very important, and all the more so in times of struggle. I'm just trying to wrap my head around why the apostles kept talking about Christ as much as they did while they were working as fishermen and preachers and founders of churches and people who were under threat of martyrdom, all of that. They remained centered, and that's a centering I think that we all need, because we all have many concerns, and we need to manage how distractible we get by those many concerns. All right, carry on bravely. I wish you all peace and acceptance of the lack of it.